Hey,
What's happening?
ready to do this again, Ed. Ready to do it again.
We got gear.
We do got gear.
Are whining and complaining about needing clothes.
That's right.
At least I'm sporting the home team, if you can check it out, right?
Yeah.
Jimmy Wilson was sweet enough to send me this.
I
You
wow.
got a little I wow.
I wow.
I wow from the folks up in the Northeast.
I wonder, do they walk around and say, I represent I wow?
No, because they have their own individual brands.
I know, but do they say, they don't say I wow at all?
I think I wow would be pretty cool to
don't
say.
know.
Hey, if you haven't figured this out yet, in the chat, tomorrow's Valentine's Day. All we want you to do is put where you met your sweetheart. Put where you met your sweetheart in there. Put that in the chat, and let's see where you met mine.
Yeah.
Mine was in a bar, surprisingly.
Yeah.
On Lake Erie. Another surprise, right?
I met her in the bar.
yeah.
She had 20 beers in her.
No. I might have had 20 beers in me. But met her in a bar, and she was hanging out with a couple people that I knew, and we connected, and we set up our first date.
Uh-huh.
And Victor, I was 22 years old, and I blew her off on the first date because I had chicken pox. I mean, she didn't.
At what
I still
age?
think 22. I got chicken pox.
Nobody gets chicken pox
I
at
know.
22.
And that's probably what she thought when I stood her up on that first date. How about you? Where'd you meet your wife?
Actually, I met her in an apartment complex.
Leave it there.
We'll just leave it there. Here's what happened. So I get there. I'm doing an internship in Minnesota, right? And you get to choose your apartment, right?
Yeah.
And so I remember I got there a week early before anybody, which means I got to pick whichever apartment I wanted. And so I asked for something that was like, looking towards the pool, basketball court. I'm not stupid. And so I remember they showed me a couple of them rather, and then they showed me maybe the third or fourth one. And I remember I walked out on the balcony and I looked down and there was a girl sunbathing there. And so I said, I think I'll take this apartment for now. And that
was her?
That turned out to be my wife eventually.
I'm glad it ended that way because that's a really creepy story.
It's partially stalking.
What, a friend's house? Red Robin.
Jason's
music
better.
video
Jason's
shoot.
better than me. Jason at church.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
A Red Robin.
That guy that used to own the Redskins.
Okay, Ross Barnes says friend's house.
Apartment complex. There you go.
Daniel Sellers says lefty is. It said, by the way, it's like if we know what lefty is in San Antonio, Texas. Yeah, I was over at Lefty's. That straight joint. It's nothing crooked about that joint. It's just Lefty. Right?
I got a brother named Lefty.
Yeah,
nobody even knows his name. Nobody knows his real name.
I don't know who Daniel is. I don't trust him anymore. I don't know why.
I'm with David
Hopkins. I'm messing with you.
In a bar at my best friend's house, Starbucks.
I got Mitchell Pape, man. Did you put yours in here, Mitchell?
Come on.
David Hopkins Bar. Apparently, that's a place. Hunter Jenks' campus ministry.
Nice.
Man, Josh says at the friend's house. Christopher Lowe, Starbucks. All right.
Nice, Starbucks.
He got points. And he met his girlfriend, not her wife.
That? He got points. He got points.
He's got coffee points, and I met my wife there.
Who else you see out there? We got a bunch of people out there, man. This is pretty cool.
We got Josh Josh has no last name, but he's in a car somewhere with a seatbelt. Way to go.
Nice.
I think.
Chase Garrity looks too serious, man. Smile for us, man.
No, you got.
No, he's not smiling. I told him to smile. He just shook me off. He said, "It ain't happening, brother."
No, I like this name, Sean Shoemaker.
Nice.
He's got his baseball cap on.
A lot of blue. I think we got a lot of clerk folks. A lot of blue in there.
How do you pronounce this name?
Rudy.
Geez, Rudy.
Just call him Rudy.
Rudy. Rudy Eisenwig. He's right there. Second, third.
All right, I see him now.
By the way, Rudy. I will just go, Rudy. Yeah.
Rudy.
Eisenwig. We have the pest control, yeah.
Hey, just a reminder. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day. Don't be a knucklehead. I got my card today. I got it last night. So yeah. I can't tell you how many times I forgot that. I'm not like the greatest husband on the planet.
I'm spending Valentine's. My wife's in Florida handling some personal family business. So I will be spending Valentine's with my beautiful 2.5-year-old granddaughter.
Oh, that's like super cool.
Yeah, it's like, so we're going to have fun.
So all these West Coast folks, they won't understand this, but we're taking our clan. Like Lake Erie's frozen. It's frozen more than it's ever been in like 25 years.
Right.
So, and it's going to start to thaw. It's going to warm up.
Are you going to go to your luxurious cabin?
We are going to go to our wooden tent on the lake. It's not even insulated, so we can't go there in the wintertime. Yeah. But we're going to take all the kids up, and we're going to experience it because it's beautiful in the wintertime. It really is frozen.
When I first moved to Minnesota, my father-in-law wanted to take me ice fishing. No, not happening.
I don't see
By the way, they're pretty amazing, right? They're got like satellite antennas.
Oh, they got TVs in them and kegs.
By the way, it's people trying to get away from their wives. Could I be wrong? I don't know. I think I'm right. Like, yeah, let's get away.
If you're in an ice fishing hut on Valentine's Day, something's wrong.
You did something wrong.
Something is wrong.
By the way, I see Abigail looking very serious with her headphones on.
Michelle
that's okay.
looks
There you
very
go.
serious too.
All right. So
Elizabeth is just laughing. She's just shaking us off like, who are these people? And what are they doing?
It all starts like this, and then we'll try to get better as we go through
Des
this.
is smiling. Des is smiling for us.
Des
All right.
Madison.
So what else? So I've had like a whirlwind tour.
Yep.
You know, I changed my stripes. I changed my uniform. I'm still very uncomfortable, I got to tell you, without a tie on. I'm just telling you that.
Right.
And this quarter zip thing, while it's nice, it's too long. And
are you whining about free swag?
I want to get it fitted.
Free swag and you're whining.
Yeah.
Way to go, Ed.
Yeah,
Way
free
to go.
stuff. But we are getting free stuff. And a couple of sales managers from Clark sent me pictures of what they're going to give us.
Yeah.
I'm headed out to Clark. I'll be out with Clark the first week of March.
Okay.
I'm on the road like a warrior. This week, I hung out with the Northwest folks. They had their big leadership meeting here in Atlanta at the hotel right down the road that we've been in a bunch of times. And Victor, that's where I stay when I come to town.
Okay.
They work really hard at Northwest.
Okay.
But I think they might party harder.
Do they?
Like the last couple nights. I mean, like 3 o'clock in the morning, they're keeping me up.
Oh, Lord.
Man,
Okay.
But no, just a great experience with them. So I did that. I was up at OPC in Louisville a couple of weeks ago, and headed to with the home team folks down in Orlando next week.
Okay.
And then I'm going to be with the IWOW folks up in Connecticut.
Yeah.
The following week, and then out to Clark. So
what are you finding so far when you're meeting? Now that you're outside of Orkin and you're meeting all these different groups, like what are you finding?
I would share this.
Yep.
The cultures are different. And I don't mean this in a bad way with Orkin, where I came from, but they're way more people first.
Right.
And this is going to sound terrible, but people friendly.
Right.
And their cultures are real, right? I mean, I grew up in a grinder, right? I mean, I've been doing this for a long time.
The Oregon people, they don't like people. They just like roaches. Now we here in Northwest.
I am sure that's getting misinterpreted.
Yeah,
but I guess the common denominator.
Yeah, we'll delete this broadcast.
We're not going to send this one. But the common denominator is people are people, and these folks all do the same stuff.
Wonderful.
And I found them so welcoming, I guess, is the coolest thing. And
Right, cool.
I'm having a blast.
Okay,
I'm absolutely, as they know, I'm only doing this till the end of December.
Right.
Then I am going home. But I am having quite possibly the best time in my career.
That's sweet.
Yeah,
That's great.
But again, the coolest, the caveat is I got no budgets. I got no numbers to worry about. I don't even have to look at the numbers when they come out at night because I don't get judged on them anymore, right?
All right.
They're just letting me do this for a while, and I guess it's what I do best. But
Look at you.
But yeah,
having
super happy.
fun. He's having fun.
And
He's
you've
having
been
fun.
busy, right? You've been doing some
I've
stuff.
been traveling a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I said, I just did. I did France, and Guatemala, and then I've been to L.A., Naples, Fort Myers. So several gigs, just traveling.
Yeah.
And then when we get into the numbers, I'm still saying you guys are producing some great numbers.
Yeah, it's just great. And we should get into numbers, right?
Let's do it.
So let's do that, and we'll share that. So what I have, once again, because of Miss Julie Bimmerman, the accountant that pulls all this stuff together.
Julie Bimmerman.
Julie, we got a bone to pick with her
Okay.
because I can't get rolled up sales numbers yet. I'm sure each of the brands have their own rolled up sales numbers, but I can't report back on sales numbers for Orkin U.S. brands. But what I can give you is revenue numbers, and they were stellar for the month of January, right? So when you look at this, I mean, this is bonkers, Victor.
Okay. Let's see what
residential revenue, $69 million for the Rollins brands.
Wow.
I keep saying that Orkin thing.
Yeah.
Just slap me around. 69 million, an 11% year-over-year increase.
Nice. I like double digits.
Just crazy. Commercial revenue, 21 million for the Rollins U.S. brands, 9% increase. Just missing that double digit. Termite revenue, which a lot of the folks on this call drive, right? This is our residential broadcast. $23 million, 19.3%. I put the 0.3% in there.
Man, that's nice. That's nice.
Year-over-year increase, which
That's
is
nice.
stellar. And then you roll it all together, $113 million worth of revenue in the first month of January coming out of the gates in 26. 12% increase. Just give it up, man. Just crazy.
Huge numbers.
Crazy good.
Yeah.
And while I can't get into the specifics about did we make any money, because they put people in jail like that when you share some of that insider stuff, we had a really good month financially. So so that's really cool. The one thing, remember last broadcast? Mm-hmm. we ran a Super Bowl contest.
Yes, we did. Super Bowl.
Yeah, and something like I've run these.
And we would pick the team and total points.
Pick the team and total points,
Yep.
and we've run these, and we had hundreds of entries, right? And you're not gonna believe 4 people, Victor, picked the Seahawks. The Seahawks were way. Obviously,
Right.
they were the favorite
Majority,
going in. We had it down to 4 when we ran the pool, right? So we had it down to 4, and the Seahawks were kind of the odds-on favorite to win it. So they ended up winning the game. But we had 4 people put 42 points down, and
Wow.
that's never happened, right?
Oh, yeah. So what'd you do? So we only have 3.
Yeah, so we were giving away 500, 300, and 100, right?
5, 3, 1.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Something like that, or maybe
Right.
2. So we had $1,000 to give away.
Okay, so 5, 3, 2.
So we
Okay.
had 4 people that tied.
Right.
So what I did, this is going to
Yeah.
scare you or shock you.
Right.
I just said, you know what? I'm just going to bump it up to $1,200 and give all 4 of them a $300 Amazon gift card.
That's $1,200.
That's $1,200. Yeah.
You gave people more than we usually budget for.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Well, so
Ed's
there
breaking
you
out the
go.
wallet. Get the crowbar out. Wow. Okay. Get the crowbar out. The wallet is officially open.
Well, the whole problem with this is
Man, you understand? Ed's like cheap when it comes to giving out money, man. It's like if you jacked it up $200, that's a celebration.
well, they got to go earn it. They're salespeople. They can earn as much as they want. The heck with that. I don't need to give them anything.
All right, so 400 for
300.
Oh,
careful.
My bad. My math is off.
So the
300 per.
300 per.
All right.
So here's the 4 winners. And this is how it came through in the chat. So Jay Nelson was one winner. We identified him in the first broadcast.
Okay.
I don't know who Jordan is. Just Jordan, Jordan. So if you're Jordan, you got to put it in the chat and tell me, hey, or send me an email that says I'm the Jordan that won, that picked the Seahawks with that.
Right.
Valentina was what was in the chat. You know, your tag name in your iPad there.
All right.
Valentina was another winner, and Andrew Gregory. So if Andrew Gregory, I think I can figure out. I'll find his email.
Okay.
What I do with these gift cards is I email them out, and they're Amazon gift cards. And, and I'll probably get them out either Monday or Tuesday. Monday or Tuesday.
All right.
I'll be traveling.
4
down
winners,
to home team.
$300 a piece.
4 winners, $300 a piece, and just super cool. So again, just great performance. We keep talking about this every time we get on these. Every time you and I have conversations, you are just kind of stymied by how successful this Rollins organization is with their sales.
Great numbers.
Double digits across the board.
Yes.
So,
Wow.
And from what and the other thing that happened too is there were a lot of parts of our country that got whacked with weather. I mean, like crazy bad weather.
Yeah.
Like, maybe not the folks out in California because
That's a great point.
But you think about all that snow and ice that came through. Like Nashville got shut down.
Yeah.
Louisville, Kentucky, where I was a couple of weeks ago, got shut down.
Yeah.
We had branches that were closed for days.
Wow.
Where they couldn't get open. A bunch of the stuff up in the Northeast got shut down. So
And they still killed it.
And that'll all happen like towards the tail end of January when you're trying to get after it.
Wow.
And
by the way, I mean, then the front end of that is New Year's.
Yeah.
Right, if you think about that.
Yeah.
So that's a short month to sell in.
No, and to clip it that way was just crazy.
Nice.
And in addition, like we always do, we want to recognize the individual producers on top of the team results. So we're going to scroll the winners now. And just remember, if you hit this list, you're going to get a $100 Amazon gift card as well. And then we had a contest up where we determined that we were going to use $25,000 in rack purchases as a good solid month. And we had 7 folks do that.
And that was the minimum, right?
$25,000.
$25,000.
$25,000 in rack purchases in January, and you got another $100 gift card. So there's a bunch of folks that have doubled up. So we should just probably show them the winners. They're going to scroll through, shout out your peers as you see them and in the chat, and just congratulate them. And here we go. Let it rip.
Great numbers. Holy buckets.
How about that?
Yeah.
I mean, there's some two.
Is this Mika or Micah Archer?
I know a Micah. You know,
Mike?
Maybe
If you're on the broadcast, we'd love to know. Is it Mika or Micah? Want to know who you are?
whoever you are, you sold $221,000.
Hot
I mean, come on,
dog.
forget about it. Forget
Esther Whitney, Savannah,
150.
a Georgia girl.
150.
Oh, that's
150.
150. That's a big number.
Look at these guys at Iowa.
Just-
And again, everybody's numbers are a little different. And they report
Right.
a little different across the brands, but
Dave Hopkins, 73K.
just crazy.
Big numbers.
Folks at Fox, you got Michael Gardner with 91,000.
91,000. Sailor,
Sailor Crew, got a couple dudes over 100,000.
134,000 at the top.
Kaboom.
Jonathan Carl,
Portland, Oregon. Wow.
Portland.
Both out of the same place. I don't know if that's
Oh
the same
my
branch
God,
or
you're
not.
right. What's happening there?
Pretty cool.
Home team?
Home team. Again, more rock stars, right?
Is it Jonathan Braverman?
I like the name, huh?
Yeah, I love
What's
that.
my favorite movie is Braveheart. Just I don't know why I told you that, but I did.
Well, there was no reason. for
And
that.
then the Clark
No
team.
reason.
There's got to be a whole bunch of Clark folks on here on the broadcast. It sure looks that way, but
94,000. If you're from Clark, give me a 1. If you're from Clark on the broadcast,
Yeah,
give me a
put it
1,
in the
man.
chat. Put it in
Let me
the
see
chat.
if you're here. See if Clark is represented. No, apparently nobody from Clark is here.
I'm stoked to go out. Just so you know, I'm stoked to get out to Clark because those two sales managers, man.
Okay, got Edgar Gutierrez is here.
Okay, awesome.
Clark, Josiah Smith
There we
is
go.
here. Two
Now we're
people,
getting
great.
after it.
Elizabeth Walker.
Then our Northwest team, you know, the folks that I was with the last couple of days, and
Yeah.
again, they know how to party.
Yeah, after partying with you, they're not going to hit those numbers. You know that.
Well, it looks like they know how to sell. And the funny thing was the meeting. You know, they did this event last night.
Yeah.
And there were a whole lot of cars in the parking lot when I came over here. They're all supposed to be going back to work. I don't know what they're doing. They're sleeping in.
By the way, Jason Holmes, 155,000.
How about that?
Killed it.
And then
Murdered it.
our rack folks.
Rack 'em up.
Just gonna tell you, we had what, seven of them, right?
2,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Led
7.
by
No,
Jordan.
9. I got 9. 1, 2, 3,
Jason
4,
Ribello
5,
out of
6,
Clark,
7, 8, 9.
Chris O'Brien out of Clark. I think
So
I
you
know
got,
Chris.
what is it? Jonathan Barnhissel.
51,000 rack purchases. These are rack purchases,
Barnhissel.
right?
I think I like that name.
I like that name,
Barnhissel.
too.
All right.
David Hopkins. David Hopkins is a double down winner. He's getting $200. Everybody again hit that list gets 100, and everybody hits this rack list gets 100. So that's
And then
pretty
there's
cool.
is it a Anthony Fredericks?
Yeah.
Richard Cabrera, Jason. Yeah, nice number. So we got 9, 25,000. Not bad, Ed, right?
I'm giving away too much money. I'm going to get in trouble.
Yeah.
I have yet to submit an expense report.
How much are they getting again?
They get 100 apiece. For every time their name's on that list, they get 100. So I'm going to get in trouble about that, but we'll forget about all that.
Okay.
Yeah, just super.
Are you going to
numbers.
keep it at 25?
No, I'm not. So let me explain something. I think this $25,000.
By the way, there wasn't even any equivocation. They're like, no, I'm not.
$25,000 in rack purchases in a month is way too low to be giving money away. I'll just tell you that. We're going to try to work through this rack thing and get this thing stoked up and get it cranked up.
Where do you think they should be on average?
This bar will be raised at least 50 by June. I promise you it will, because you can do that, and it's that simple. And we're going to get through a whole bunch of stuff. I just shot some scripts in the studio on Wednesday on how to try to help you with that, and we'll get that out to you over the next couple of weeks. But there's way more opportunity there, and I think if a job's $501, you should be racking it.
And by the way, I want to add this from my perspective, outside looking in. I was talking to our favorite, was it Keekins?
Yeah.
And all he does is rack closes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I remember when I asked him the question, I said, what percentage is rack? And he gave me that third-eyed look, like, what are you talking about? It's all racked up, and his numbers are great, so there's opportunity there.
And speaking of Keekins and what he's talking about, he's referencing the if you're in my emails, a couple nights ago, I sent out the podcast that Victor did with Nick. And if you're a residential salesperson and you don't take the time to spend the 38 minutes and watch that from start to finish, you are not invested in your gig. You just are not invested in your gig. This kid started out, he was going to quit a couple times, struggled early.
His wife slapped him.
His wife slapped him around and said, where are you going?
Get back on that horse, son.
And then
he got back on the horse.
He tells the story
That's powerful.
that you all need to, you just please go out and watch that. Spend some time this weekend.
We've
watching
done,
that.
was it 5 or 6 of these podcasts?
Yeah.
So I strongly recommend them to watch the podcast because these interviews are with these sales folks. It's a great one-on-one conversation where I interview them, and it's them talking about 90% of the time of what they do and tactics, strategies that they use. And again, it also talks about the mindset and how they get there. So I'm telling you, it's worth your time.
Yeah, and what's unique about it, they share the struggles, right? They share their journeys.
Especially the struggle piece.
And I don't think any one of the 6 of them we got in the tank started out guns a-blazing.
No.
You know, they all struggled. So particularly for our new folks.
Well, Keegan's especially. I mean, we're joking about it, but he was about to quit.
Yes.
And his wife says, you know, I think the line his wife said, I've never known you to be a quitter.
Yeah.
And it was like, whew, like a dagger through him, you know. And he's like, oh God, I better get on the horse again. And he's doing exceptionally well.
Amen. And those two guys, I shared Jordan's on the commercial side, but we'll talk about that next week. But certainly viewing that needs to be in there. Let's get into some content so we can get these folks out of the way. So this time of year, our guy Matt in the studio, he's a big baseball guy, right? Pitchers and catchers report. You know, the pitchers and catchers reported to spring training on Monday, right? So they get that going on. And I've always looked at that. I'm a baseball guy too. I think about pitchers and catchers report and getting ready for the season.
Right. And
I think we need to get ready for our season because, you know, those termites will start to fly out of the ground eventually. Now, we're all over the country now, and termites fly at different times, but I want us to get ready and to get prepared for the season, to kind of sharpen your axe, get into spring training, warm up, and get going and start practicing stuff. And I have, I guess, for lack of a better analogy, a David Letterman's kind of top 10, like how to bring it perfect. I forever in a day, and we'll share bits and pieces of that with you as we travel in our journey, getting to know each other over time. But bringing it perfect, and I always try to coach our folks to bring it perfect. And I will be the first one to say I've never brought a presentation perfect, but I've certainly worked my tail off to try to bring one perfect, right? And so that's what we want to talk about today, and not so much go back to the basics, because I hate that term, and I know you don't like that term either.
I'm okay. I'm better than punch him in the throat.
Oh, come on.
Which is your favorite phrase. I don't like that phrase.
That was yesterday.
That was yesterday, yeah.
But no, just kind of some spring training, and let's go to that first slide, and we'll talk through that a bit. It's the little details that are vital. Little things make big things happen. You know, that if you don't know who that's from John Wooden, maybe the greatest college basketball coach ever. And just give me your spin on the, you know, the devil in the details, all that kind of stuff. It's oftentimes, and I get accused of being, this is a terrible term, I get accused of being way too anal, overanalyzing the sales process and everything that happens.
Right.
But talk about just the minute details that truly make a difference. It's not the big stuff.
No, it's the small stuff. I talked to a lot of different companies, and as I'm talking to a lot of different companies, you start seeing some, I guess, things being repeated. Most salespeople, good salespeople, have all the big stuff. I'll call them the bricks in the wall down. In other words, you know what to do, what to say, how to say it, when to say it. But it's all the little things that go in a conversation, for example, or during an inspection that makes all the difference. And customers can sense when you lack confidence. I have a simple sales process. Every sales process you'll ever read about comes down to these three things, and Ed knows this already. The first one is to empathize with your customers, really listen to them. The second piece, the most important piece, is to educate them on what's going on in their house. And then the last part is the empower piece, which is you give them options. So if I understand you, empathize, I educate you on what's going on. We're going to show you some pictures. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Once I educate it, I give you some options, and then I suggest something. What do you want to add to that?
No, I don't think there's anything to add to that. Let's jump into like maybe one of the, I don't know, pillars or one of the top 10s. Let's jump into that first one. It's this killer inspection that I don't know if I tagged the term, but that may be one that I own, right? I've been talking about delivering killer inspections forever and a day since I got into this game. And when I'm talking about a killer inspection, I'm talking about that you use that to separate, right? Your inspection has to be so different. Let's take the mindset today of coming into a place where you're in a competitive situation. Maybe the termites flew out of the baseboard, right? They flew out of the baseboard, and you know we got problems, right? There's stuff going on, and the customer wants to immediately take you to where the termites are swarming. Can you help me here? And demonstrating difference, not by what you say at the end with your clothes or whatever the crap you're going to end up with, but what they see and spending that time. And you look at that picture, and I apologize, the picture is certainly an old picture from Orkin, so just mind you there. But you just see them inside, outside, top to bottom, and slowing down when you get to the house. By the
way, I love that title, Killer Inspection, because I think that could be the differentiator. But I have a question. Is that you in the upper right-hand picture?
That's just absolutely right.
That looks like you in
because it's black and white?
1950s, when I started selling pest control back in the day.
What?
No?
It was 1983, and we had color cameers by then.
Okay.
There were color pictures by then. That is not. What the hell did you say that for?
By the way, but I do like the killer inspection because, you know, I think we've talked about this in the past, that I work with different companies, and I was working with the window company. And one of the things we discovered in that meeting, in one of my training sessions with them, was that on average, people who spent, let's say, 45 minutes with their customers had a certain close rate. But those who spent an hour and a half, let's say almost 2 hours, had a much higher close rate. And what we start seeing that there's a difference. And so why do you think that is, Ed?
I think it's what the customer visualizes and experiences, right?
Yes.
And I think about this when you compare it, because you talk all the time about contrast. You know, what are they seeing you do different than the other folks, right? So if it's one of these competitive red ocean kind of leads where you're, you know, it's an inbound lead and they're shopping, right? Maybe they had somebody there already,
right?
Or they got somebody coming later. The measurement is what did you do? How long did you spend on the inspection?
Correct.
You know, the other guy was in and out in a hurry. You know, what did they visually see versus what you say?
Right.
And I think when you try to tie that down and pin that down, when you talk to our people that clock it, you talk to a Keekins, you talk to a Brian Worth, you talk to these people that are at the top of the game, you talk to these people that were on those top lists. They will hear oftentimes from customers that the reason that I bought from you wasn't your beautiful boyish smile charm or your sales skills. It was you did a better inspection than the other folks. And that resonates and that makes a huge difference.
That speaks volumes.
Yeah. And I guess put in the chat if you've ever heard that from customers, you know, that they've shared that with you, that you did a better inspection, that's why you got the business. Because if you win business in competitive situations, you should be going back and asking them, okay, I appreciate you buying from me, but what I really need to know, because this is what I do to feed my family, what I really need to know from you is why did you choose me over them? I know you had a couple, 3 companies come out here. And when they tell you that, you'll hear oftentimes, hopefully you're putting it in the chat, that you're hearing that you're doing better inspections. And
By the way, and I want to emphasize that because it's important for the discussion, is what you've said. Ed, I know throughout the phrase red ocean, that means versus a blue ocean. Blue ocean, not a lot of competition. Red ocean, blood in the water, a lot of competition, right? And in that situation, again, the brain is a contrast machine. It's just the way our brains work. And all of a sudden they see the contrast. This company came in for 30, 40 minutes. You were in there for 2 hours. That speaks volumes in terms of what's going on, because the customer's thinking, wait a minute, what's wrong with the other company? They didn't spend that much time with me. And that's powerful.
Yeah, and then the other thing I think we talk about oftentimes is the investment of time.
Yeah.
You know, if you come in there and spend a couple hours kicking it around their house like you should be doing, inside, outside, top to bottom, attic, crawl, squaring every inch of it, termite lead, termite swarming in the baby's bedroom, you still better be climbing in the attic to see what's going on.
Yes.
So, creating separation, but the investment of time. So you're there for 2-3 hours, and they're thinking, well, maybe we should get another bid. No, I don't want to do that again. I don't want to go through that again. That guy was pretty good.
Ed brings up a great point, because it's called sunk cost. If I just sunk 2 hours in the inspection with your company, in many cases, I don't want to do that again. But if you were only there for 30 minutes, that's not a lot of sunk cost, which means you've just made the relationship transactional, which means they're going to go out and get another bid. So that's why also investing time, not only to get to know them, prove that you're different, but the sunk cost aspect of selling is in there as well.
Yeah, amen. And I think that's enough on the inspection. That's like one of the pillars. Let's go to pictures and let's talk about this and talk about our friend Mr. Einstein. Pictures worth 1,000 words, right? You have another phrase for that, but just tell them that.
Okay, it's not my phrase. It's what they typically call picture superiority. And I remind people, because sometimes we want to explain things to people. Sometimes you don't want to explain. You just want to show them. See, language has only been around for, let's say, 2,000 years. Our brain, which is very visual, again, that reptilian brain loves visuals. And this is 40, 50,000 years old. So people respond to images. So when you're going in there doing an inspection, what you want to do is show them the image. You can talk about it, but showing them is more powerful. What do you think?
Amen. And I've said this many times. You know, I wish we could cut all of our tongues out, because I think we'd be better salespeople if they just bought on what we showed them, right? And we have all these tools, right? We got these iPads. We got all these great tools.
Right.
We got these phones. You know, are you a great photographer? And I think oftentimes that if you're not, you need to invest the time into becoming a better photographer, taking better pictures, you know, knowing how to do it the right way. And people ask me all the time, Sonia and I just shot a video on Wednesday. She said, how many pictures, Ed? I said, I have no idea how many pictures. And different sales managers will say, oh, I should take 10, you should take 20, you should take 30, you should take. You'll never hear me tell you how many pictures to take.
Right.
But you got to take good pictures. And let's show them a couple of those.
And by the way, it's not so much also the picture, it's also the story you tell with the picture. So keep that in mind. That's the most important piece.
Amen.
Next slide here.
Yeah, so here's an example of some pictures, right? And maybe a different mindset. Maybe something that I can share with you today that will help you overcome the hurdles that I had, right? So you get some folks that may be skeptical, right? Well, is that my attic? Is that my crawl space? Is that my problem? You know, did you take that from another house?
Right.
So I've always used a black, after I got stung by that a couple times, I started taking out the old black Sharpie marker and marking the beam. And that one up there on the top right obviously says Orkin, but it's date stamped and it's time stamped.
Right.
So think about that. You find termites in a crawl space, you find termites in an attic, and you see that damage, and you stick that screwdriver in and pop that thing down, and here come those little nuggets of gold. And to me, it's like, like the world's just changed when I find termites, right? It's like, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened. Wait, I'm starting to spend commission dollars already, right? But if you do that and you get that lucky one where you make that stick and you pull it down, move down 6 inches.
Right.
Grab that Sharpie marker and put 2, 13, 26 above it.
Right.
And then get this phone figured out just right, hold it just right, stick your screwdriver in there, pull that thing down, and don't take a picture, run a short video.
Yep.
And now you don't just have a picture, you got a video with the date there,
Right.
showing them that that's their house. Boom. Just,
You don't have to do a lot of selling after that.
You look at those pictures. I mean, those are, before, after pictures, all that kind of stuff that are just there. I mean, again, using Sharpie markers to inspect it, figuring it. This takes practice. You can't become a good photographer just without practice.
Or videographer.
Well, videographer.
By the way, so somebody suggested to use meta glasses.
Yeah, that came in the last one.
Yeah, and I thought that was very interesting because I never would have thought of using meta glasses to go in and just go, boop, let's film something or let's take a picture of something. So
yeah, when I was in Louisville last week,
I love that idea, by the way.
The sales manager had one, and then one of the salespeople on the broadcast at 8:30 talked about using the glasses.
I wonder if you could do it like real time. I have this vision, right?
You can.
Can you?
Yes.
Because I have this vision of going up into the attic and tell the person, here, hold my beer. In this case, hold my pad.
Amen.
He says, you're going to see something.
Watch my iPad. I'll be upstairs.
I'll be up there.
Live.
And man, I bet you close rate like that.
Absolutely. No, so think about those things about how you can not necessarily manipulate pictures, but use pictures to tell the story. Throw that next slide up there. We got one more, I think.
There you go.
And again, just some more pictures. And again, I think it's the art of taking pictures. Again, I don't know how many you should be taking, but I know that you got to take good ones, and it's got to be practiced, right?
They got to be almost visceral.
Yeah.
As visceral. By the way, Clark P., which is Josiah Smith, says, I create a photo album for all my customers.
Nice.
I don't know why I had this visual of Josiah sitting next to the customer. Says, okay,
watch this.
Here's what we have right here.
Here's when we went on vacation. Yeah, I mean, think about it, right? I mean,
he's absolutely right.
You should be showing a ton of pictures.
He's absolutely right.
Amen.
All right.
One more slide. Let's throw this last one up here. So you got the pillar of a killer inspection. You got the pillar of taking great pictures and showing, not telling. And then you got this one, which I think is the ace in the hole for every one of our Rollins sellers that isn't used enough with this $25,000 of the rack goal so far with this group, but we'll fix that. But you've got this opportunity to position yourselves, if the job's over $501, by simply telling the customer. The coolest thing about doing business with Clark, the coolest thing about doing business with Home Team, the coolest thing about doing business with Rollins is, Victor, we don't require any money up front. Based on a short approval process, we're going to get you approved 90 days, same as cash. Our folks are going to come out and do all this work for you.
Yes.
And what's going to happen after that is I'm going to get a chance to come back. My boss is going to get a chance to come back. And you're not going to give us any money until you are completely satisfied with the service and that results that service renders.
Love it.
Nobody else in the industry can spin it that way. And we don't do that.
Yeah.
If the job is over $501, you absolutely must close only with rack. And we're going to get there. We're going to get there. Guys like Keekins in
I'm
that
on a mission. We're going to get there.
Guys like Keekins in that video, if you didn't watch it yet, 9 out of 10 of his contracts, 9 out of 10 of his contracts are rack.
Right.
And let me help my West Coast folks out a little bit. We got a guy down in, works for Orkin in California. And if you're familiar with Mia Hamm, probably the woman's greatest soccer player ever, and Nomar Garciaparra, superstar shortstop for the Red Sox and a couple other teams, their net worth is over $200 million, right? I mean, when you pull it up on Google, do that. They racked a fumigation job for $1,900. They could strike a check for $1,900.
Right.
But the sales guy, Brian Worth, closes everything with rack.
That's pretty cool.
That's how we do business. That's how at Rollins, that's how we do business.
Nice.
We do something unheard of in the industry because everybody's been ripped off by, everybody either has been ripped off or stood up by a contractor or has a story of one of their friends or family that, the guy come and took half my money.
There you go.
We don't need any money up front. Put your checkbook away. We got you. So work on your rack close, and we talked about that the last time, but we're going to grind on that. I actually scripted out a whole bunch of stuff, put it in Notebook LM, and we're going to prepare that as we continue to get to know each other a little better.
By the way, somebody had a question about access to the podcasts.
To the podcast?
You know, the
Oh,
Nick
yeah.
Keegan. So what are you going to do? Are you going to send something
So
out?
right now, and I'm in the process, and if you read one of my nightly messages, I have a YouTube channel that is pretty cluttered at the moment, right? And I got like 200 pieces of content that are visible to the general public. There's another 150 that are not visible, that are kind of behind a firewall because I'm taking shots at Terminex or Rent-A-Kill or somebody, right? So something that would probably be inappropriate to be out in general public, which,
Okay.
I'm punching some throats, right?
Yeah.
So we be careful with that.
All right.
But there's a bunch of stuff there. I'm working through sorting through it, and those podcasts are there. I'll share a couple more, but
Yeah.
you just go in there and just get lost in it. So
Do we have their emails yet?
we don't have all of them yet.
Okay.
I think I'm close to having everything by next week to get them into the academy. We're going to talk about that next
But then
break.
you're also going to put them in your newsletter list, is I guess why I was going.
Yeah, I think most, if you're not getting an email from me and you're a salesperson, you need to get with your RSM.
Okay.
I committed to Mr. Galoff that I would send an email to you every night, and I think I started February 1st, and I've not I'll miss Sunday nights. I'll take Sundays off. But,
Okay.
or I'll take Saturdays off.
So just to be clear, give your emails to your RSM.
Yeah.
RSMs will then send you.
Yeah.
So he's now bombarded with 1,000 emails.
If you're not new, just get that into me. But
Okay.
And if you're not getting a nightly email from me, you need to let your region sales manager know so we can get you on that list and get that. But I send a bunch of that stuff out that way. The other thing I have is I have a whole bunch of Ed Talks. I've got like 50 Ed Talks, short little bursts. We've been in the studio. I've reshot a bunch of them, 12 of them already. And my friend Matt in the studio there, we were in this week, Sonia and I. You remember Sonia? Yeah. We shot like 12 of them this week. So those are coming out. And I shared one last night, a new one, Picture Hack, where, how to put the right kind of pictures on your iPhone and your iPad and all that kind of
Great
stuff.
content, by the way.
So, yeah, and
Fantastic
it's
content.
it's all what we do, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we'll figure all this out as we go along. Okay, I've been watching 7 out of the 14 Florida. Beautiful. Yeah.
Okay.
And again, I don't know anything else. Just that last slide. Details matter, right? I mean, they make a difference. And I have been accused in my career, and I wear it as a badge of honor, and it's a terrible term, but I overanalyze every step of the sales process.
Mm-hmm.
I leave nothing to chance. I mean, I guess I've been doing it for 42 years, and I made so many mistakes that I'm trying to prevent you from making the mistakes.
Yep.
And that's my job going out of here this last year, is to help prevent you from making the mistakes that I made and learn from the 42 years of wisdom, but died into the anal on the details. I mean, just grinding them down.
By the way, I'm going to say something because he won't say it. Give the camera here. So Ed has 42 years of experience. We've worked with the Orkin team directly for the last, I'll say, 5 to 7 years, and their numbers are just going crazy. So what we're trying to do, more him because he has more of the knowledge in the industry, is to help you grow your revenue, grow your sales, and grow that wallet or your purse. So that's why we're really doing this here. But he humbles himself, but he has a lot of great content. Go check out the YouTube channel because he won't tell you to do it. I'm telling you, go check it out. There's a lot of content there that's going to help you grow your business.
Well, and if you subscribe to it, right? I don't monetize it. You need to know that. If you subscribe every time we post something new, every one of these broadcasts we've ever done together for Orkin and for you guys ends up on that YouTube channel. And if you're a subscriber, when I post new stuff, it'll all pop in there. So if you were a subscriber last night, when I posted that video last night, it popped in your notifications. All right, that's enough of that. Let's get them out of here.
All right, let's get them out of here.
Just a couple housekeeping things. Throw up that last slide. Yeah, is that up there? Yeah. So as I travel around, I pick up all these core values. We shared ones from Fox with you before. We shared the Northwest values with you last broadcast, and this one comes from Home Team, and it's pretty cool. I like it. What's your favorite one up there?
Continuous improvement.
Yeah, that's okay. You know what one I like? Which one I like.
Is that a little too boring for you?
No. I like the fun one because I just came off this thing with Northwest, and they have fun. And I know I can't wait. I understand this Home Team meeting is just a killer one that I'm going to next week. It's next week. I'm going to Orlando Monday.
Where's it? Was I?
No, you weren't invited. No, you weren't invited. They don't even know me.
By the way, didn't want to go anyway.
You liar, pants on fire. No, but the last thing we're going to do as we get out of here is certainly be safe. We appreciate the heck out of what you did in January, and we're off to a great start in February. But what we're going to do right now is we are going to stream out as we leave here the videos of all of the sales or sales leaders that are going to punch their ticket last year to go to President's Club in Arizona. So with that, anything else?
That's it.
Let's get out of here. Appreciate what you do. Stay tuned. Shout your people out in the chat as you see them pop up.
All right.
So
take care, guys.
Matt. Thank you.